What is going on, guys? This is Lone Vault Wanderer. I hope you're having a great day. My throat is really sore, but I really wanted to do a video because this news is really interesting and I'm a Fallout fan, so I really like talking about Fallout 4 in general. And before I got into it, just two quick updates. One, I updated my channel's thumbnails and I think they look kind of better than what they did before. You know, before it was really low quality and now at least it looks somewhat professional, I guess. So if you like them, you know, give it a thumbs up. But if you have some negative feedback, I'd appreciate that as well. And secondly, I've changed the title of these videos from gaming discussions to gaming talks, only because when I was working with the thumbnails, talks just, you know, it fit much easier and I think it rolls off the tongue a little bit more. So I hope you like the changes. If not, I can always change back. It's no real issue. So today's news, as I said, is about Fallout 4 and specifically how the game is rumored, you know, just bear that in mind. It's only rumors in part at least, but it's rumored to be it's going to be an Xbox One exclusive title. Now obviously by saying that, that's going to be to the exclusion of both the Wii U and the PS4 consoles. But I say that it was a rumor in part because at least for the Wii U, it has been officially confirmed by Bethesda PR officials that the game is not planned and probably will never come to the Wii U console. But for the PS4, it's more rumor and speculation than any hard, you know, concrete evidence. So I think to all you Fallout fans on the PlayStation, you don't really have to worry about it. It's not too much of an issue. But I wanted to get into numerous things about Fallout 4 coming to the Wii U and obviously coming to the PS4. And as I talk, I've got some New Vegas gameplay in the background. It's just me fucking around with people in New Vegas Strip and predominantly with the anti-material rifle. So I hope you enjoyed that just for a laugh. But so first I wanted to talk about, and as I talk I'm going to be drinking some tea because my throat is killing me. But first of all, I wanted to talk about the Wii U and why I don't think it's appropriate for a game like Fallout 4 to be coming to the Wii U. And I'll bring that argument on numerous bases. But before I make my point of view, I wanted to point out that there is there's a petition similar to what the Xbox One DRM petition is, but there's a petition that's pleading for Bethesda to, in fact, bring the Fallout franchise, specifically bring Fallout 4 to the Wii U console. And they make some very, very persuasive points, and I wanted to raise them because it's interesting to think about, and I like getting both sides of the argument. So the points that they make is that the gamepad, if you guys don't know, that works with the Wii U console. The gamepad is said to, it would really, you know, integrate really well with the game that Fallout is. So, you know, when you're playing Fallout and you have your Pip-Boy and you're hacking your terminals and you're, you know, picking lockpicks and all that, just imagine doing all those things on the gamepad. I think it'll be a really great experience. And the kind of, you don't want to call it a limitation, but the reality is that when you're doing it on a console and you enter into your Pip-Boy or whatever, it's, you know, the world freezes around you and nothing's in real time, and that's not really to be expected. You'd expect something more like Borderlands 2 when you're playing co-op and you enter into your multiplayer, into your gun menu or whatever, and the game around you would play as normal. So I think that's kind of the thing that they're trying to go for the Wii U, at least this petition is. And it would be really cool, you know, having your gamepad and operating that as your Pip-Boy and all that. I think that would be a really cool feature. But the problem is, I don't think it's that great, you know, to convince me that it requires moving it fully to the Wii U console, the game that is. I mean, I don't think it's a strong enough reason simply because the gameplay will be, you know, it would be greater with the gamepad use, you know what I mean? Like, there need to be some more persuasive reasons in my mind in order to, you know, have a developer like Bethesda to put a lot of effort into it and to port the game over or do whatever they want to do to bring it over to the Wii U. And that gets into another point of view of mine. You guys got to understand that it takes a lot of work to port a game over to a console, and presumably that's what they'd be doing. If you guys don't know Black Ops, when it came out on the Wii. Obviously that was just a dumbed down version of what it was on the 360 and PS3. The graphics were very, very limited. It just didn't look like Black Ops did. And yeah, it was cool with the motion sensor and all that, but it wasn't truly the Black Ops game that at least I and many, others came to know and love. So when I saw the gameplay on the Wii U, I was like, wow, that looks like a complete crap. And yeah, some people that traditionally play on the Wii might enjoy it, but the fear that I have is that when you're bringing a game like Fallout to the Wii console, bearing in mind that Fallout is a massive game, and it already struggles to run on the consoles like the 360 and PS3. I mean, God knows how long the loading times got on New Vegas when I was playing on my 360. At times they'd be from anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute long, and I'd hate it anytime I'm entering, multiple areas. So just imagine trying to run a massive game like that on the Wii console. It would just be a disaster. And then also bear in mind further that Fallout 4, obviously, when it's built, it's going to be built in mind, with the Xbox One and PS4 consoles, because they have the greater, graphics superiority, and so that's what the game is going to be designed for in order to get the most out of it. So when they're specifically designing a game for these kinds of consoles, these kind of high-end consoles, if you want to call it, it's going to be a much, much larger game than what Fallout 3 is, and I full well believe that. In terms of graphics, in terms of audio, in terms of mission, in terms of the map size, in terms of what other features that they're going to implement with it, and the fact that it's going to be on Blu-ray instead of the traditional double-sided DVD, so it's going to be a lot more memory that's going to be taken up, right? So it's just going to be a much, much bigger game. So do I think that game would run effectively on a console like the Wii U? I don't think so. I think it would be a complete shambles, and you'd have to dilute and dumb down the game to a stage where you wouldn't really consider it Fallout, and any Fallout fan that's playing on the Wii U would just be restricting themselves to a great experience that they could be having if they were playing the game on the Xbox One or PS4, simply because they'd have the better graphics, they'd have more gameplay, because that's going to be the reality, guys. They're going to have to, when they're porting it over, they're going to have to dumb down the game, and they're certainly not going to specifically build it from the ground up for the Wii U. That would just be like making 2 Fallout 4 games. That's not going to happen. Like, if you guys don't know, with Call of Duty, what they traditionally do is they make it for the Xbox 360 and they port it over to the PS3. That's how games are made. That's how third-party publishers make a game. They don't sit down and be like, alright, we're going to make one for the PS3 and one for the 360. That's the reality of it. So that is why the Wii version would be a complete dumb down and a complete, just a terrible looking game, I reckon, in my opinion. I know the Wii U has, increased its graphical capabilities, but the point that I'm trying to make is that this game will be made for a next-gen Xbox One PS4 console. So compare it, in relative terms, compare it to having Fallout 3 running on the Wii, on the traditional Wii. I think that's how much, processing power it's going to require in relative terms. So just picture having a massive Fallout 4 game, which has been specifically built for next-gen consoles, and then trying to be ported on the Wii U. It's just not going to work effectively. They can do it, but it's going to require a complete dilution of the game, and no, true Fallout fan would want to play on there and ruin their experience, simply because the gamepad might be a cool feature. And this brings up another fear, I guess, that bringing a game like Fallout 4 to the Wii U console. I want to give you guys a bit of an example, and if I can have some of my tea because my throat is killing me. That's better. That's better. Sorry about the pause, but I wanted you guys to picture this scenario, right? Picture that there are 20 people that work on the Fallout 4 game, and picture that 15 of them will work on the Xbox One PS4 version, and picture a mere 5 of them would work on the Wii U version and porting it over. Now, if those 5 people each work 8 hours a day, 5 times 8 is 40 hours. If they work 5 days a week, that's 200 hours, right? 200 hours in 1 week that could have been working on the Xbox One PS4 version as opposed to the Wii U version. So when you go 200 times by 52 weeks, presumably. That's over 10,000 hours in 1 year, and bearing in mind it takes a lot longer to make a Fallout game, but 10,000 hours in 1 year that could have been put, as effort and as man and woman power into working into the PS4 and Xbox One version of the game. That is critical and crucial resources that would be foregone because there would be a requirement for people to be working on the Wii U version iteration of it. And the problem with that is that, that was only 5 people. Picture that there are more people working on the game. Thousands and thousands of hours will be taken away from the main, if you want to call it, the main Fallout 4 game on the other consoles, and it would potentially be really, really detrimental and detract away from that main game. So when it comes out on the Xbox One and PS4, it'd be something that's not as, as crisp. It's not something as well worked on and didn't have the as many hours worked on as it could have if the Wii U wasn't even in the picture. And that's my problem. Why would they go out of the way to, work on the Wii U version when it's just all it's gonna do is take time away that they should be focusing on the main game? I think it's not a priority and they should not make it a priority. So that's my specific reasons for the Wii U at least. Now I want to bring up the PS4 situation with it and why I think it's complete bullshit, why this rumors are going around. First of all, this is business. So when a third-party publisher, and I stress third-party publisher like Bethesda is making games, they're going to make them for the consoles at least that they think they're going to sell a lot of titles on. And that's why initially when they decided to bring Fallout from the PC to the console, they brought it for both the Xbox and I think it was eventually the PS3 console. So when they've started this new franchise on the consoles, on these two types of consoles, why would they swap and be making the game exclusively for the Xbox One and completely disregard the PlayStation? You've built up such an immense fan base on both consoles, on both the Xbox consoles and on both the PlayStation consoles. And I think the distribution is about half and half. Let's assume it was anyway. So if you were to make a game solely for the Xbox One, you would be cutting your audience in half. And that is millions of dollars of foregone sales revenue. And I don't think at this stage in the game, many people, like even hardcore Fallout gamers, would purchase an Xbox One if it was going to be an exclusive title, just to play the Fallout game. Because the next gen, Xbox console, is about $500 to $600. That's probably not going to be reduced by that much when Fallout does eventually come out. So are people really going to shell out that amount of money just to play the Fallout on the Xbox One? I doubt it. I reckon they're just going to stick with their PlayStation, and only those really, really true minority hardcore fans would buy the Xbox One for that sole reason. But I still think it's a complete, improbable scenario for people to be doing that. And then you've also got to think that when you have, as I said, a game that's been made for both consoles, you've built a fan base, Why would you want to disappoint your fans that have been on the PlayStation? I'm not taking this from a console war point of view. I'm taking this from a Fallout fan's view, and I want people to be enjoying the Fallout series as much as I do, whether you're on the Xbox and whether you're on the PlayStation. So I don't want people that have grown up with Fallout on their PlayStation to not be able to play it on their new PS4 console, and a console that they might very well, really enjoy, and they might hate the Xbox One console for whatever reason. I don't want to see those people not be able to play a game like Fallout simply because they, Bethesda wanted to restrict it to one console. And that raises a further point. There are so many arguments against this. What kind of incentives would a company like Bethesda, bearing in mind that, the amount of foregone sales revenue that I just spoke about, what kind of incentive would it have in just producing a game solely for the Xbox One console? This is not like Halo, which has been, from day one, it's been built for the Xbox system, so it sells really well. Fallout has not had that. It sells well, but it sells well on both consoles, not just one console. I think if Microsoft were to ever persuade Bethesda officials to bring the game over, would be doing something like not take as much sales revenue, you know, per Fallout 4 game that is sold, and giving that back to Bethesda as kind of a compensation. But even then, I don't think there would be enough compensation that would kind of recoup those foregone sales revenue that they would achieve if they actually sold the game on the PS4. So because of those business, you know, factors, I guess, that you should be considering when you're trying to sell a game effectively, that is exactly why the game is going to be sold on the PS4. If and when it does come out, I'm hoping it's when it comes out, but that is exactly why it's without a doubt going to be on both Xbox One and PS4 consoles. But with the Wii U, again, I think it's a bad decision, and I hope that they don't go down that route. And besides as well, if you're a Fallout fan, I couldn't see you know, gaming predominantly on the Wii U, on the Wii in general anyways. I mean, Fallout 4, as I said, PS3 and Xbox 360 game. All of the fans of the Fallout series will be gaming on those consoles, or would have those consoles, right? If they physically played the game in the past, they'd have to have, or, you know, at least before they sold the console, they would have had to have that console, right? So what kind of true Fallout fans at least would be on the Wii console? Because I know I'm babbling on here, but the Wii console is traditionally, it's more so for, you know, casual gamers and a younger community and a younger audience. Is it really suited to a hardcore RPG, you know, FPS if you want to call it? A game like that for Fallout? Is Fallout really suited to that kind of audience? Is it going to sell well generally? Because we know that if there's going to be a better version of the game on the Xbox One and PS4, no right-minded Fallout fan would swap to the Wii and play the game on the Wii U. It makes no sense if you're a true fan. And because of it's going to be, you know, downgraded in quality, I don't think any traditional, you know, Wii U fans would ever purchase the game, simply because it's not catered for them. And I think that's a general problem with third-party publishing and Nintendo Wii U and Wii console in general, but that's for another discussions video. Please put your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to know what you guys think about the situation, because, yeah, it is a bit of a issue if you're a Fallout fan. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been lengthy, but I've enjoyed doing it. This has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself.